Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it.
We begin tonight with a confirmed development that is already reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. Iran's supreme leader, the man who held ultimate authority over the Islamic Republic for more than 30 years, is gone. And the world is now watching to see what comes next. Khamenei took power in 1989. From that moment, he controlled Iran's military, its judiciary, its state media, and the organization at the center of Iranian power, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Every major decision Iran made over 3 decades, its nuclear program, its regional alliances, its confrontations with the United States, ran through him. That era ended today, and it ended at a moment when tensions between Washington and Tehran were already at a breaking point. Within hours of the confirmation, President Trump issued a statement. It was not a message of condolence. It was not careful diplomatic language. It was a direct address to the Iranian people. Trump called on what he described as Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to act. His words: be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than Anybody? An Iranian regime armed with long range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel" or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, and police to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States.
He then went further, speaking directly to Iran's security apparatus, the Revolutionary Guard, the military, the police. He urged them to lay down their arms. He offered full immunity to anyone who steps aside. And he issued a clear warning to those who don't. That is not standard foreign policy language. That is Washington signaling that it sees this moment as something beyond a leadership transition. So what does Iran look like right now? Under the Constitution, the Assembly of Experts, an 88-member clerical body, holds the authority to select the next supreme leader. That process now begins. But it begins inside a country that is already in an active military conflict, with its top leadership suddenly gone and its security forces being asked by a foreign president to stand down. That is an extraordinary set of circumstances. The central questions tonight have no answers yet. Does the IRGC move immediately to assert control and project continuity? Do internal factions begin competing for influence over the succession? Does the Iranian public, after years of economic hardship and political frustration, respond to calls for change? Or do the institutions hold as they were designed to? Every one of those outcomes carries different consequences for Iran, for the region, and for the world. The regional picture is equally significant. Iran's influence doesn't stop at its borders. It runs through Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and across the Gulf. A confirmed leadership vacuum in Tehran sends immediate signals to every government and every militia connected to that network. Alliances that were stable yesterday are being reconsidered today. Nuclear negotiations, already complicated, now enter entirely unpredictable territory. And global markets are reacting. The Persian Gulf moves more of the world's energy supply than any other region on Earth. Leadership instability, combined with active military conflict, puts immediate pressure on oil prices and international shipping. President Trump made one thing clear in his statement. the United States is prepared to support what he called a freedom movement inside Iran. But he also said the future of Iran belongs to the Iranian people, not to Washington. That line will be examined carefully in capitals around the world because this moment is genuinely historic. 36 years of centralized authority under one man ended today. What fills that space, whether it's stability, reform, internal struggle, or deeper confrontation, will define this region for years to come. We are tracking succession developments inside Iran, official reactions from regional governments, market movements, and any response from US and allied military commands. This story is moving fast. We have major breaking news tonight, and the scale of what is being reported is unlike anything we have seen in this conflict so far. President Donald Trump has just announced that US forces have destroyed 9 Iranian naval ships and knocked out a major Iranian naval facility. He says it happened within, his words, literally minutes. He also confirmed that this operation is part of a broader military campaign now being called Operation Epic Fury. According to the president, this offensive has been underway for the past 36 hours.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries.
Trump is describing it as one of the largest and most complex military operations the United States has ever conducted. He claims hundreds of targets inside Iran have been struck, including Revolutionary Guard facilities and Iranian air defense systems across the country. If those numbers are accurate, the scale here is extraordinary. The Revolutionary Guard is not a conventional military unit. It controls Iran's missile programs, its regional proxy networks, and some of its most sensitive strategic assets. Striking IRGC facilities at this level would represent a direct hit on the operational core of Iran's military power. Simultaneously targeting air defense systems tells you something about the strategy. You take out air defenses when you want freedom of movement, when you're planning to keep striking and you don't want anything in the way. And then came the confirmation that changes everything. Iran is not without options. It still possesses significant missile capabilities. It maintains proxy networks across the region in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Those networks don't disappear with a change in leadership. And the pressure inside Tehran right now to respond in some form will be enormous. US bases throughout the region are on heightened alert. Gulf shipping lanes are being closely monitored. Oil markets are already reacting and will continue to move as this develops. This is no longer background tension or proxy conflict. This is direct, large-scale military confrontation between the United States and Iran happening right now. The next few hours will determine a great deal. Will Iran retaliate directly? Will Gulf states become drawn in? Will diplomatic channels open anywhere? Or has this moved beyond that point for now? Another major development, and this one speaks directly to what may be happening inside Iran right now. President Trump has just announced that thousands of Iranian regime officers, officials, and security personnel are reportedly reaching out to the United States, seeking immunity.
Last night, All over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there.
Thousands. According to the president, members of Iran's military structure, including senior figures, are attempting to distance themselves from what he described as a collapsing command. His exact words? The entire military command is gone. He says many are trying to surrender to save their lives. If that is accurate, what we are seeing is not just military damage from the outside. That is internal fracture. The Revolutionary Guard has been the backbone of the Iranian regime's military authority for decades. It is one of the most disciplined and tightly controlled security institutions in the world. Large-scale defections from within that structure, if confirmed, would signal something far beyond battlefield losses. It would mean the cohesion holding that institution together is breaking down. Trump said the requests are coming in by the thousands. That language, if backed by verified intelligence, points to a level of internal disruption that goes well beyond what military strikes alone can produce. At the same time, the president made something else very clear. US combat operations have not stopped. He described operations as continuing in full force and said they will not stop until all objectives are achieved. Whatever Operation Epic Fury set out to accomplish, it is not finished. Trump also addressed the lead-up to this moment directly. He suggested Iran had opportunities to de-escalate weeks ago and chose not to. He framed tonight's situation as the direct consequence of those missed chances. And then there was this. Trump claimed that following the announcement of the Supreme Leader's death, celebrations broke out across parts of Iran. That claim, if verified, would tell us something significant about the depth of public dissatisfaction inside the country. Iran has seen waves of protest in recent years. Economic pressure, political frustration, social restrictions. If portions of the population are responding to Khamenei's death with relief rather than mourning, the political ground inside Iran may be shifting faster than anyone anticipated. But we have to be careful here. Moments like this, military pressure, leadership collapse, internal instability all hitting at once, are among the most unpredictable in geopolitics. What looks like rapid transformation can stabilize. What looks contained can escalate. History has shown both. Two things will determine what this moment actually becomes. First, whether these reported defections materialize and hold at scale. Requests for immunity and actual large-scale defections are different things. The next 24 to 48 hours will begin to answer that question. Second, how Iran's remaining power centers respond. Not every institution has collapsed. Not every commander has reached out. Those who haven't made a move yet are the ones who will shape what Iran looks like on the other side of this. This situation is moving faster than almost any conflict. In a direct warning to Iran's Revolutionary Guard, its military leadership, and its police forces, Trump told them they will face, his words, certain death if they refuse to surrender. He added, "It won't be pretty."
This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel" or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, and police to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America.
That is not diplomatic language. That is not measured foreign policy messaging. That is a blunt, unambiguous threat delivered from the Oval Office. And it is designed to be heard inside Iran as clearly as it is heard here. Trump framed this confrontation in the starkest terms possible. He called Iran the world's leading state sponsor of terror. He contrasted that directly with what he described as America's unmatched military power. His message had two parts. The United States has the capability to finish this, and the will to do it. He said the threats he described as intolerable will not continue. That chapter, in his view, is closing. He also repeated the immunity offer. Surrender, lay down your arms, and you will be protected. But this time, the warning on the other side of that offer was sharper than anything he has said before. Comply or face overwhelming force. Now let's put that in context. When a president combines active military strikes with direct appeals to enemy forces, it serves a specific purpose. It is designed to fracture morale from within, to plant doubt, to make individual soldiers and commanders ask themselves whether the fight they are being ordered to continue is worth the cost. That is psychological pressure working alongside military pressure, both at the same time. Trump then turned again to the Iranian people. He called on what he described as patriots who long for freedom to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back their country. He told them America would stand with them, and he said he made a promise and he kept it. That last line is significant. He is presenting this entire operation not as an act of aggression, but as the fulfillment of a commitment. So where does this leave us? The Revolutionary Guard is not a conventional military force that simply takes orders and retreats. It is deeply embedded in Iran's political system. It controls economic assets, elite combat units, and the country's missile programs. A large-scale surrender from within that institution would be genuinely historic, something with no real modern precedent. But if the hardline elements inside the Guard consolidate rather than fracture, if they absorb the pressure and push back, this confrontation does not wind down. It intensifies. Those are the two paths. And right now, no one outside of Tehran knows which one Iran is moving toward. What is clear tonight is that this is no longer purely a military operation. It is the contest over political will, over internal loyalty, over who controls what remains of Iran's power structure, and what direction that structure moves next. The next decisions made in Tehran, in Washington, and by individual commanders on the ground inside Iran will determine how far this goes. We are watching all of it closely. Stay with us.